Celebrate and save at Ashley's Anniversary Sale. With Hot Buys, your choice of colors starting at just $3.99. Ashley Sleep mattresses starting at $2.50. Plus, receive a free adjustable base with select mattress purchases. And shop top mattress brands like Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, Purple, and Beautyrest Black with 60-month special financing. Only at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. No minimum purchase required. Minimum monthly payment, down payment, tax, and delivery may be required. See store for details.
Old Man Winter here. If I had it my way, it would stay winter all year long. Short days, wind chill, black ice, and a good polar vortex. Oh, heaven! Wait, is it getting warm in here?
Your cold snap is over, Old Man Winter. Spring has arrived.
Spring.
Spring is here, which means it's the perfect time to get away in the Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, where you can get great deals on all of our award-winning Hyundai models, like the tech-filled Tucson and Kona, as well as the spacious Palisade. Enjoy wherever you go with the peace of mind that comes with America's best warranty and 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. But hurry in, these deals won't last. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end soon. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Your fever is high and the pressure to log in at work is too. But when you finally decide to take care of you, there's Instacart. Just because that one perfect coworker of yours is attending all meetings, camera on while she's sneezing, coughing, and aching, doesn't mean you have to do the same. Take it from us. Trying to stay on top of things will only get you further behind. Instead, get everything from tissues and teas to cough suppressants and comforting soups delivered through Instacart in as fast as 30 minutes. If anyone needs anything, they can just redirect their questions to that one perfect coworker of yours.
Talk to Zack Meisel from The Athletic, who's on the line. Hey, Zach, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We're doing good. So, as I just mentioned, big Guardians fan, 30 years. But this isn't going to be a sunshine and roses interview necessarily, because I like the way you tell it like it is. And for a team that stated explicitly, hey, we need offense. Seems like they're going to go into this season with Miles Straw in center, Will Brennan in right, Gabriel Arias at shortstop. Nothing has changed. Is that your feeling as well, at least as we start the season?
Well, I mean, you know what they always say, right? If it's broke, don't fix it. So that's kind of what they followed this offseason. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can understand certain parts of their thought process. I can look into the crystal ball and see that there are some prospects who should be able to help them as soon as this summer. I can even convince you maybe that there's a really bright future ahead with a really strong core in 2025, 2026. But at some point, I mean, they haven't won a World Series in 75 years. I think fans would like a little more sense of urgency, and they didn't get that this winter.
And why is that? You would think that they should be able to. Is there a reason why they didn't? Are they just staying pat for? I wouldn't understand the reason why they wouldn't try to go out and get somebody. Or did they try to get somebody and just got outbid? No,
I think that this was the winter where the front office executives, you know, if they still had like a cell phone minutes plan, they probably burned through fewer of those this winter than any winter in recent history. I mean, I think it was expected to be quiet, and it was maybe even quieter than we thought. And I think they sort of got spooked a little bit by how the last couple of years have gone. I don't think they had any idea that they were going to come within one win of the ALCS in 2022. That was supposed to be a year full of trial and error, auditions, 17 rookies debut that year. And that sped up the timeline. And I think the issue was that their timeline was never meant to be that early. And so last season, they sort of tried to patch it together and run it back with a lot of the same guys. And you saw some sophomore slumps. You saw some just players who didn't quite progress. And the big thing is you saw some missteps by the front office. They traded a couple hitters who excelled elsewhere. They bet on the wrong guys internally, and they had some injuries. And that led to a 76-86 record. And I think it led them to sort of recalibrate and say, where are we actually? Because we've been wrong in that evaluation the last 2 years, and we have to get that right. And we have to look at it objectively and say, when's our best chance of winning and building another contender that can sustain winning for several years. And I don't think that they think 2024 fits into that. Now, in the AL Central, maybe you can fake your way to contention, but I think the best days, the best time period for this team are probably 2025 through like 2028.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Zack Meisel, our guest, he covers the Cleveland Guardians for The Athletic. So you mentioned the drought, 75 years. It's the longest in baseball, at least, among teams that have won award. I guess it's the longest either way, 75 years. Does this feel like an organization from the top down that is on a mission to win a World Series? Do you think that's their stated number one top goal? And I know it's a phrase, at any cost. They're not going to spend the money that other teams are going to, but at virtually at any cost, that they're going to get that done.
No, I think it's only on their terms, and I think ownership's obviously a big part of that, but it's the way to do it. They're not going to push all their chips in one season because they believe in the flukiness of the postseason, and they believe in. I mean, they were the poster children for this. 2016, they were totally shorthanded, had no business winning the World Series, and they had a 3-1 lead on the Cubs that October. So the following year, they come back, and I think a lot of people felt like it was their time. They won 102 games. They were the favorites going into the playoffs, and they got bounced in the first round. So their perspective is, how can we build something where, we're winning 4 or 5 division titles in a row, and we go into the playoffs and we just have more bites of the apple. I think that's the way they want to do it. And when you do it that way, and you're also not willing to spend money, it's really hard to pull off. And so I think you wind up with situations like this where it looks like 2022 was the beginning of another run, and instead it was just a fluke, really.
Do you think, Zach, that they know exactly what they had in 2016? Obviously, that's 8 years ago now. You can't necessarily recreate everything. But I remember the very first game or two of that season. You had Napoli and Uribe, who didn't turn out to be much, but you had these veteran guys who seemed to be providing steadiness. And I was like, this team looks different than many of the other recent Cleveland Indians / Guardians teams of that era. Do you think they know exactly how they built that? And is that duplicable, or whatever the word is?
No, I don't think they knew. I don't think they believed it maybe until they had a 14-game winning streak in June, and the Tigers, who had owned that division, the Royals had been to 2 straight World Series. So I think that they had to sort of prove to themselves, both the players and the front office, that it was real. And I don't think they had any idea early on. I mean, their opening day outfield was Marlon Byrd, Rajay Davis, and Colin Cowgill. That doesn't scream World Series team.
Not
but,
great.
You also know, and they operate this way every year, just where your opening day lineup could look very different by July 1st. And I think you're going to get that this year too, where they're still trying to figure out who the shortstop is. They're trying to figure out which of these outfielders fit, if their Rule 5 pick, who's not even old enough to drink legally, can swing a bat. So it's you go through the trial and error in April and May, and you hope you're better off for it in June and July. And in the AL Central, it affords you a little bit of time to, I guess, mess around. But at the same time, it's like, you still need talent, and you still need, like you mentioned, you needed those veteran presences in 2016 to help guys like Jose Ramirez blossom. So I don't know that they have that this year, but it also only might take 86 wins to win the division. So who knows?
Is it obvious that they're just going to have to lean on their pitching in order to win this division? And then just as a side note, just how does Cade Smith look just as a fellow Canadian?
He looks great. I don't know if he's going to be on the opening day roster, but I think, I would probably mark him down for 40 or 50 appearances in the majors. They're going to use him quite a bit, and having that rookie who's got options, who's on the 40-man roster, that's that's both a valuable person to have and also for the player. It means a lot of trips down the highway 2 hours to their AAA affiliate. But he's got really good stuff. I think he's going to be a key piece for them for years. They have to rely on the pitching. The rotation could be really, really good. I think there's 5 very talented starters, and yet 3 of them are coming off rookie seasons. And I think that year 2 sometimes presents hurdles that you weren't expecting. And the 2 guys who aren't sophomores, Tristan McKenzie and Shane Bieber, had major injuries last year. So it's a very good rotation. It's a fragile rotation. And then in the bullpen, they've already had, I think, 3 significant injuries. So there's not a ton of depth. And so what they need from the pitching staff, you're already having concerns. And if you're the coaching staff, you're pulling your hair out with how this has started because we're not even at opening day yet.
Zack Meisel, our guest from The Athletic, covers the Cleveland Guardians. I guess we'll talk about the elephant in the room now, or the elephants, and that's Kyle Manzardo and Chase DeLauter. Already announced that Manzardo will be starting the season in the minor leagues. Chase DeLauter seems destined for that as well, although I guess it's not official yet. Fans obviously expecting these guys to remake the middle of the order, if not in April, May, June, whatever. So what is the best way to prepare those guys, not only for those expectations, but to succeed in the big leagues?
Yeah, they've been the talk of camp. They both have just torched all pitching they've seen. DeLauter was never in Major League camp to begin with. And I think so fans have certainly been clamoring for him in Cleveland, and that just was never going to happen. But you'll see these guys sooner rather than later. With Manzardo, it's very evident that it is just to manipulate service time, get an extra year of him, and at the same time, they've got a Rule 5 pick, Davison De Los Santos, who they need to evaluate. So they buy themselves at least a few extra weeks to look at him while Manzardo goes to AAA. But look, we talked about it. They did not do anything to bolster a lineup that needed bolstering. And those are 2 guys who I think can help you very soon and just completely change the look of the lineup. It's a lot to put on 2 rookies. DeLauter was in college, a year and a half ago? So I think Manzardo looks major league ready. He's spent time at AAA. DeLauter's played 6 games above A-ball, so it's a lot to ask. But we've seen a lot of hitters struggle to develop in this organization. These are 2 guys who look the part, and you never know, but they feel like the guys to bet on. And for a team that sorely needs as much offensive help as it can get, I think that's why there is, even if there's frustration right now, it's not hard to see how this team could be successful maybe later this season or next year, the year after that, just because they've got a good young nucleus. And those 2 guys are very important pieces of that.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go before we let you go is, that fan inside me who wants desperately for this team to win. It's not crazy to be excited about DeLauter, Manzardo. Maybe it's Rocchio or Angel Martinez or Juan Brito in the middle infield. Maybe your number 1 pick in the draft, Bazana, Condon, one of those guys, maybe is able to contribute in 2025 or 2026. Obviously, the young pitchers, there's young bullpen pieces out there. Who knows if any of this, let alone all of this, will come together. But that's worth being excited about, right?
Yeah, it's the timeline that hasn't made sense, right? It makes you curious about what they're trying to accomplish, because I think the pitching staff, if healthy, is playoff caliber. I think the rotation has the chance to be really, really good if they stay healthy. But they not doing anything to help the offense now. I mean, that's great that 2025 looks like it could be a special season, or 2026. But the state of the division is such that it wouldn't have taken a ton to make you the favorite. And when that opportunity is sitting in front of you, I don't know why you wouldn't take it. And they decided to just hold steady, and we'll see what happens. It's just weird. You look at the 5 teams in the Central, and the Royals recognized they obviously needed upgrades, and they didn't have the farm system that has the DeLauters and the Manzardos ready to come help them right away. So they at least did something to just try to get the thing going in the right direction, right? You know, the White Sox are going to tear down and take a while and build back up slowly. But like, it's just strange that none of the teams really, you know, the Tigers, the Twins fall into this. None of them did anything to really seize control of the division. And it's almost like, well, if the other teams aren't trying, why should we?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's upsetting, but we'll see how the season plays out. Zach, we really appreciate it. I love your work on The Athletic, your podcast, the free one, the 50-cent, $1 one. Love them both. So we'll be following you all year. Thanks, Zach.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
See ya.
Take care.
Celebrate and save at Ashley's Anniversary Sale. With Hot Buys, your choice of colors starting at just $3.99. Ashley Sleep mattresses starting at $2.50. Plus, receive a free adjustable base with select mattress purchases. And shop top mattress brands like Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, Purple, and Beautyrest Black with 60-month special financing. Only at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. No minimum purchase required. Minimum monthly payment, down payment, tax, and delivery may be required. See store for details.
We all agree that reducing carbon emissions is a good thing. And once again, Toyota is leading the way. We hear a lot about fully electric vehicles, and Toyota has them, with more coming in. But we also know a BEV is not for everyone, whether it's because of cost, range, or concern about finding a charging station when you need it. Plus, the raw materials used to manufacture batteries are limited. Enter Beyond Zero, Toyota's vision for a carbon-neutral future. In vehicles and in manufacturing plants, too, in the years ahead. The materials used to make just one long-range battery for an EV could be used to make batteries for 6 plug-in hybrids or 90 gas-electric hybrids. That's why Toyota's position today is electrified, diversified, empowering you to choose how to reduce your own carbon footprint with the vehicle that's right for you, a hybrid, plug-in hybrid, or battery EV. So shop, learn more, and get details at toyota.com/Beyond Zero. Toyota, let's go places.
Old Man Winter here. If I had it my way, it would stay winter all year long. Short days, wind chill, black ice, and a good polar vortex. Oh, heaven! Wait, is it getting warm in here?
Your cold snap is over, Old Man Winter. Spring has arrived.
Spring.
Spring is here, which means it's the perfect time to get away in the Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, where you can get great deals on all of our award-winning Hyundai models, like the tech-filled Tucson and Kona, as well as the spacious Palisade. Enjoy wherever you go with the peace of mind that comes with America's best warranty and 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. But hurry in, these deals won't last. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end soon. Call 562-314-4603 for details.